You'll be arriving at Floor 26 soon. Before that, I'd ask you to please check us out on Twitter and Instagram at Floor 26 Podcast. If you have any questions about the show, you can hit us up there or go to our website at floor26podcast.com. Thank you for listening. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Floor 26 Podcast. It's the show made by young people for everybody. Today, thankfully, I'm joined by Parsa Pahlevankhah.
What up?
Terez Hill.
Hey, guys.
Back after a two-episode sababbatical.
Excuse my break.
And
it's just well needed.
Once again, we have Jack Casey calling in from UGA.
Calling in. What's up, guys? How are you?
What's up, Jack?
How's it going, Jack?
Yeah.
It's going good. It's going good. Same
You
old.
fix your bathroom dilemma?
Did I fix my... Dude, we're going to start every episode talking about
He
my
put a
freaking
bucket in
bathroom.
the corner of his
Yeah, there's a bucket. No, I got a great bathroom.
He stole
okay?
a porta potty,
Yeah.
stinking up the
Jack
room.
had a bathroom dilemma?
No, there was no bathroom dilemma. You missed it. Listen.
Wait,
Oh my God.
what?
So, a few episodes ago, we talked about how Jack, living on his dorm in UGA, does not have his own bathroom. He has like a communal bathroom for his whole floor. And Parsa was roasting him on it.
But it's nice. It's very nice. It's clean.
Whatever you
Smells
say.
good.
Whatever you say, bro. Okay. Anyways, what do we got on the plate, Adam?
All right, what do we got on the plate? So I think, first and foremost, we would be remiss to not talk about the debate, the first presidential debate that occurred just a few nights ago in Cleveland, Ohio.
Comedy.
Why there? What,
Absolutely. I
what's
don't
in
know. I have no
Ohio?
clue. Hey, the vice presidential debate is taking place in Salt Lake City, my hometown.
What's
Ah.
in Utah?
A lot
Mormon
of
time.
exactly.
A lot of Mormons. Is that what you
Oh
saying,
my
Adam?
god.
By the way, guys, I'm from, if you don't know, audience, I'm from Salt Lake City, Utah.
And he fits the stereotype.
Yes.
Hey, a little bit. All right, so I guess I'll just give my initial impressions of what I watched that night. I watched it live with a few friends online, but basically, I had a pretty low expectation going in, and I had a pretty low. Oh God, what's the word? I had a pretty low point of view of both of those people going in, and at the end of the debate, that point of view was even worse for both of them.
Will you shut up, man? Will you shut up?
Will you shut up?
Dude,
Who are you
no,
talking
like-
to,
Shut up,
Jack?
man.
Jack, who are you talking to? Oh, you're talking to. Yeah, okay. I see what
Like,
you're saying. So
he
basically,
didn't get my
was
joke.
awful.
so basically,
It- no,
I'm sorry. I get
you-
your joke now. That's my bad.
Even I got it. And I barely watched it.
I'm sorry. But basically, what I saw from the president was that, obviously he's a jerk. He's like he's a loud, obnoxious person. And I think what he showed, this is his first debate in 4 years since he was elected, before he was even, before he ever held office. And I think the biggest thing that he showed is that in those 4 years, he truly hasn't matured at all. Like, being the president of the United States for 4 years,
Hasn't changed his name.
hasn't made him at all more like a different person than he was 4 years ago. So it
more
seems.
suitable to be the president.
Yes, and then I saw from the vice president that he was unable to show that he was more mature than the person who hadn't matured for 4 years. He on every occasion slipped down to the president's level and just got into shouting matches with him across the stage. Made direct attacks to him and all those sorts of things. So definitely my opinion of those two people were both lessened at the end of the night. But what do you guys think?
Wait, what do you mean by maturity? Because these dudes are in their 70s.
Yeah, and they're acting like children.
That's his point. That's his point. They're in their 70s
Like the
and
fact
acting
that
like
these
that.
dudes are like
It's
in
expected
their
from
70s.
Trump, though. It's expected from him.
Yeah, and it's just like, I really went in looking for any excuse to like Joe Biden,
Yeah.
and I didn't find one.
At all. Because last
I mean-
night really put it on top.
In Joe Biden's defense, he couldn't have done much. He had to somehow be able to speak.
Yeah.
For God's sakes, and he couldn't because he just it was funny when Trump said he was like, I'm not debating Joe here, I'm debating the moderator. And I was just like, dude, is that even necessary? There are so many things, like the moderator got involved more than the two of them did. Not obviously not, but it was just really weird.
Yeah, I mean, dude, the president was attacking like the moderator like
I know,
a strange amount. It felt weird. Like it was strange. But then again, I mean, at the end of the day, I will always favor the side of, not stooping down or not, having to resort to any sort of tactic to make your voice heard. I do think that ultimately showing restraint and perhaps being spoken over for, more than 50% of the talking time on the debate would serve a person better than trying to.
Do you think that was
compete on
his
the same
tactic
level.
to begin with, or
The
like,
president's?
Like, yeah, just
to
attack
piss
the
him off?
moderator, like,
Yes.
no, just to like play victim a little,
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean-
all he did was complain and play victim because he doesn't know
or that's
the
just his
topics he's actually
personality,
debating.
or that's just his personality.
It's both, I guess.
It's both. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Like, he doesn't know how to actually. He doesn't have an argument or a plan or a promise or anything. He just counters. And yeah, that's probably his personality, but that's how he.
And he hit Joe right where it hurt too.
What did he
Once
say?
he started
Talking
bringing up,
about
once he started
his
bringing up his
son?
son. Oh, it was raps when that happened.
Gosh, that was so strange, man.
Wait,
like,
did I miss that?
It was. I mean, it's hard to pick up on, but basically, Joe Biden had two sons, I believe, or two sons that were spoken about. One of them was a veteran that died in. I forgot how he died, but I think he died.
Bo?
I think
Bo?
did he die in war? Or did he die? Of
It
some
was.
other thing?
I think it was in Iraq, but I'm not
Okay.
sure.
And then the other one,
It was
Hunter.
either that or because of illness, but Hunter was the one that
He's
was
like the one with all the scandals around him of like having jobs in foreign countries because he's
Moscow,
the son of the guy.
and it was another place.
And yeah, he definitely riled the vice president up with that. And
Basically, the way it went was Trump kind of brought him up and was like, "Oh, your son like has drug problems and foreign jobs and all this stuff." And Joe kind of like wasn't expecting it, so he kind of hesitated and then said, "Yes, my son was on drugs and all this stuff, but he like the way Joe represented himself was kind of weird because he said, yes, my son was on drugs, but he handled it, which was good. Which is what he did the best he could have done, in my opinion."
I mean, yeah, what was he gonna do? Lie about
that was
something that's
good.
been public?
Right. He didn't just counter it and say he did say that was some of the things he was like, "No, Trump, you're wrong. That's false." But when Trump brought up his son being on drugs, he was like, "Yes, he was on drugs, but I'm very proud of him now. He's overcome it and all this stuff," which is what he should have done. And something else Joe did very well. He did stoop down to Trump's level a lot, as in just kind of yelling. But something I really appreciated him doing was looking in the camera and talking to the people and say he's talking to the people. Like, it kind of felt powerful, and he handled and had a lot of slick statements and looked in the camera and talked to the people. And like this is kind of going back to what we were saying earlier, but
Dude, wait, hold on.
I don't know.
When like Biden was talking, I got so much Uncle Sam vibes from him. Like the look in his face.
That is a great way
The
of
look in his
saying what I was
face.
trying to say. Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
Biden was definitely trying to show that if anything, he was here for the people.
he's
Bro.
a very career politician. He just looks the part of a politician.
Oh, yes.
But it's interesting that so many times during the whole process, he constantly, whenever the president would bring up something like some sort of scandal he's been involved in, or whether how credible it is or not, Joe Biden would always default to that has been discredited or that never happened, which I thought was an interesting thing because in a lot of these cases, for a lot of the things that the president brought up, it's not like saying that these things are discredited would be dishonest, because a lot of these either investigations going into his family or into actions he's taken aren't like discredited. They're like ongoing things that, going in, I knew that the president would bring those things up, and I figured how is he going to respond? I think like the best thing for him to do would just be to say that, to like get ahead of these sorts of problems that he's facing, instead of just outright saying that they're discredited, especially in certain ones that were very minor things that, have been for the most part proven true that he was saying were completely discredited, which I don't think was a good tact on his part. But I guess the biggest part of the night, which we can discuss, is the president's statements when the moderator asked both of the candidates to denounce violent groups in the country.
This was my favorite part, by the way.
You
This was my
had,
favorite part.
I think he asked Joe Biden first. He asked them first about Antifa and asked them to denounce them, which I guess not as well known, but he didn't do a very good job at that either. But the president was asked about problems of white supremacy in the country, and the infamous line when he was asked if he could denounce them was that he said something to the effect of "stand down and stand by," which sparked quite a lot of outrage by people online. my initial impressions of it are a little interesting because well, I guess obviously, like, what was your guys' impression of like what that moment?
Well,
Dude, I got off work at 11. I came home. I was listening to it. I just kept hearing them like argue about nothing and just like everybody talking over each other, and I just fell asleep.
Oh
He
yeah,
said, I just
Like,
fell asleep.
I got
like-
pretty bored.
Yeah, like
If
Yeah.
I wasn't watching it on like a live stream with like people online, like who were just like messing around in the comments, I would have like
I
clicked
had to
off.
watch it for a class, so I was
That professor again.
yeah, I had to write a whole SSRD on there, bro. Statement of the problem, aims.
Ew.
Oh my god.
How do you
That's
how do you
awful.
how do you
that's
derive that
actually horrible.
from that debate? There was no clear question being asked, but something that I thought was interesting was
pull out your just gotta pull it out of there. Bro, I just gotta make it work, bro.
so everybody, is mentioning how the president is unwilling to denounce racist groups in the country, and I'm trying to think because it just didn't really. I always think of like the motivations behind these actions, and I really try to break down all the facets to it. And I think when it comes to politicians like our president and the vice president, their first and foremost drive isn't to stick to any sort of morals that they have. It's always just to win their race. It's to win their race. They'll say anything they want. They'll change their beliefs as many times as they need to just win their race.
Just to win it.
So I think that no matter what belief most politicians hold, they'll change that if they believe that it'll give them an advantage
At least until they
in
get
their
in
race.
office.
And so, the thing with Donald Trump is even if he is a racist, I would expect even that sort of emotion to be sidelined for the sake of winning.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking, like, what was his cost of just saying outright, like, no, I completely denounce any white supremacist in this country, fully and outright. They can all, piss off for all I care. Like
A ton of votes. To answer
well,
your
the
question.
thing is, really think about it. Who is not going to vote for Donald Trump when he denounces white supremacists? Like, is a Proud Boy not going to vote for Donald Trump just because he said that he doesn't think they should exist and then that they should, just piss off? I mean, what else are they going to do?
Oh, not.
Like,
No,
they cannot
that's
vote.
a good point. Once you're in with him, you're stuck with him. Whatever he says
Yes.
goes. If he says something ridiculous, their whole excuse for the past 4 years has been, oh, he's just joking. Oh, he's saying just great stuff. Like anything he says goes. And it's really weird.
Yeah, and then think,
They always
what
take that
is the
from him.
advantage of saying, like, and then what do you think? What does he get from denouncing these people? And it's like you probably get more votes from denouncing these
Yeah.
people than not, because people who might have that problem as like a problem that once removed could shift them in that direction of
But-
voting for him.
but
And he
Trump-
just doesn't understand that. That doesn't click in his head.
Trump's like a special case though, because look, Trump supporters will say like some of them are those types of people. If he says that, hey, I'm not gonna tolerate like these types of groups, who are they gonna vote for? They're not gonna vote for Biden, are they?
No,
Probably not. It's either they vote for Trump or they don't vote at all. But like the type of people they take enough pride to have to vote,
Mhm.
so they're still gonna vote for Trump.
So, do you think it would have been more advantageous for him to just outright?
That's the thing. I don't know. Like it's just like
I'm sure that was in his because really the strategists behind both these candidates have worked for both parties for decades, right? Like the people who are giving them their pitches, like you need to do this on the stage, you need to do this on the stage. They've been working with every type of politician for so long, and so it was definitely in his briefing that like, hey, if they bring up white supremacists, you just got to outright just flatten them. You just got to say, I hate them, I don't care about them, they can all go.
But he wasn't gonna do that.
Well, yeah, and I'm just thinking, like, I mean, like I know he's not smart, but he's not that. I feel like he's not that not smart. Like that is like very objectively
I
working in the
do.
wrong direction.
Personally, I do.
You can't denounce what you are.
Yeah.
I mean, but they do like every single day. Like that's a politician's job, is to denounce who they are who they
last
are.
night, I guess he was trying to show his true colors.
Well,
Because he
that-
said nothing.
I guess there's a little bit of beauty in that, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if y'all noticed, but there was a portion like around the time in the debate around the time we're talking about where he said stand by or whatever. The moderator and Joe were both like, okay, then say it, of talking about denouncing white supremacy. Like they both just set him up and just said, okay, say it.
Because he set
And-
himself up with that statement.
Right, exactly. So because of that, Joe and the moderator were just like both said, do it. just straight up, and he
It was like a playground
hesitated
bet.
and was silent for what felt like a really long time, even though it was probably only like 5 seconds. And then, you know, he said whatever, but he like looked scared and hesitated. And I've never seen him like that before. It was really interesting to me.
What I noticed when the moderator brought it up was he was just acting like himself. Usually, like he cut off the question halfway through, and he was like, "Of course, I'll denounce him. Of course, I'll denounce him." And then when Joe Biden and the moderator started just
he
saying,
didn't.
"Do
Did
it,"
nothing.
it did sound like a playground bet. Like someone's telling you like pick up a piece of gum off like the freaking blacktop or something. Like do it. But yeah, that was pretty crazy. I didn't like the part where the vice president mentioned that Antifa was more of an ideology than a group of people. I thought that was somewhat comparable to what the president said, at least in this. It was they both dropped the ball when it came to that sphere of the debate. But
Right.
overall, I did you guys see how I think it was on CBC, but is that even a news station? It was on a major news station, but a poll conducted after the debate, people were asked to enter in like the emotions that they felt most strongly of after the debate, and 69% of pollers said that the main emotion they were feeling was annoyed, just by the whole
Wow.
debate. And then I think the next one was like 32 at like confused or something.
Wait, so when was supposed to be the next debate?
Well, the vice presidential debate's happening next week, and then I think in a few weeks from now is what would be the second one.
Trump gonna be
Yeah.
okay?
Yes, he did contract COVID-19 just yesterday.
Okay.
Dude, my favorite
Okay.
part when he was when Joe Biden was like, I've been holding like smaller like rallies and stuff,
Uh-huh,
and then he
uh-huh.
was like, it's because nobody's gonna show up.
So yeah, he's like a
Right.
slap comedian. He's just so good at like one-liners. I just like, God, it's so funny. He's like that kid in class who's just so good at making fun of people. But
Trump is.
yes, he contracted
is-
COVID-19.
That's what he gets. all the
Probably
big
from
pep rallies he has.
from his trip to Ohio.
Okay. Hear me
Yes,
out.
yes,
Parsa,
yes.
Parsa, you're gonna appreciate this. You're
What's up?
a bit of a conspiracy person.
Uh-huh.
I was talking about him getting COVID with my mom,
Okay.
right? I was texting her about it.
Yeah.
And she's like, "What if he did? What if he didn't get COVID? What if this is a lie?" And I'm like, "Why would he do that?" And she's like, "Well, he looked like a fool during the debate." Hang on, let me see what she said. She said he looked like a fool during the debate, and there was the whole. He's just avoiding scandal. So what he's going to be doing is, whether he has it or not, he'll get over it if, you know, there's no serious illness involved, if he actually does have it. He'll get over it and then tell all his supporters, "Yeah, I had it and I didn't even get sick. It's nothing. We shouldn't be worried about it. It's not a real virus, blah, 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 blah." Which I thought was really interesting. It's kind of a weird conspiracy, but
It is.
Man,
possible.
me and your mom got to talk about some conspiracies, man.
the
That
art
makes a lot of sense.
Parsa Pahlevankhah, the art teacher. I just always veer on the side of probably not, because he's been losing this election for the past 6 months. This is a card he probably would have pulled out earlier, especially.
A lot earlier.
I think he would have. I mean, especially in the early days when he was still saying that it was like super, like,
Yeah.
like not a big deal.
That
Like,
whole drink
I think
boost,
that could have
every
like
week.
I think that could have kept his that lie going a little longer. But
the drink bleach thing came up in the debate. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
I mean, it
He
did.
was like, "I said it sarcastically. What are you talking about?" And I was like,
The
it
table
didn't really
was
sound sarcastic.
He didn't. He said it with the most serious face.
Well, it was at one of those.
Yeah.
It was
okay about it.
It was at one of those like hour-long press conferences that he had every single day, where he just completely runs out of things to say. And so, like, no, because in the
just
moment, I
sitting
remember
there.
watching it. He literally, in the moment, he's like, "We've been doing a lot of research about potential things that might damage the virus." And then he looks back at Dr. Fauci and he's like, "We've been thinking about like household cleaners and like." And Fauci's just like, no, we haven't been talking about that.
He's like, bro, that's not true, right?
So I mean,
there.
honestly,
That's not
like
true.
to have to go up there and freaking and give the reporters something every day. I mean, he's gonna say, with who he is, he's gonna say
He's
something
gonna say
stupid.
something crazy, something
But
insane.
yeah, God. Anything else about the debate that really stuck out to anybody?
I heard, or I got a notification on my phone after it was over. Apparently, there's like some commission that decides the rules of formal.
Yes,
Presidential
the
debates.
Commission for Presidential Debates. That's it.
Yeah, I said it straight up. Yeah. Apparently they're like revising every rule in the book for the next one.
Because they're just like, oh my god, this is not gonna work.
At all.
Oh my
Because
god.
Trump is insane.
They're planning on giving the moderator the ability to mute the microphones.
Oh, that's awesome.
Which
that's
I think
so
is hilarious
sick.
because
I love that.
Because I
If
feel like
Trump
even if you muted Trump's mic, he would just start yelling like
Across
through
the
the
room,
stadium.
across the room.
He'll
He'd just
go
be like,
to the other
he'd be
side.
like, he'd be like, you can mute my mic.
He's insane. He's
Yeah.
gonna go crazy.
He'd walk over to Joe Biden and just use his mic.
I hope they keep the camera on him when he's muted.
Joe's gonna have a stroke in the process of trying to yell at Trump.
like they just put an overlay that says muted, but you just see this man spazzing out.
Like an old TV muted, like the green text.
I really need Joe to keep his composure this go around though, because last time, like we discussed, he did not do a good job.
Yeah, he does. He really does.
It's like he doesn't even get mad. He just says something. He looks the
But you
same.
can tell he's frustrated. He's just so old, you can't tell the correct facial
Yeah.
expression.
I'm surprised. I was pretty shocked. Not shocked, but I was just I was surprised to see that he seemed to not lose a whole lot of stamina throughout the debate.
He didn't. He was really upbeat.
I mean, he was probably on a few stimulants, but good on him for sticking up.
Yeah, he was. You could tell he was a little irritated when he started stuttering more.
Oh yeah, towards like the last half, definitely.
Yeah,
But I
after
mean,
Trump brought up his son. He
good
was
on
really
him and
mad
all that.
about that.
Gosh, all right, Jack. Anything else about the debate, or I guess you just did say something, but
yeah, it's pretty much it. People are giving Joe a really hard time, and I feel like he did not as good as he could have. Everyone can do better at everything, but
Yeah.
he did better than I think how most people are playing it out as.
Especially, I think he did better with Trump than most people would.
Right. Like, can you imagine, if someone else was up there going, I mean, he's of the
Because I
people who were going for
face.
the, yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Once you brought up my son, oh, I'm sorry.
I think they just need
Yeah.
to go 5 rounds in the octagon. Whoever's last standing gets to be the president.
I don't know if Joe's gonna make it. Yeah,
And
he might be able to use his
apparently-
legs. He can use his legs,
He's got long legs.
but not his hands. Not his hands.
Apparently, I saw one of those news outlets. They were doing like fact checks, obviously, and like looking to see if anything was quoted or reused. A lot of the like insults that Trump used, he used against Hillary. He's reusing ammo from 2016.
He's like a comedian.
sounds like
Dog,
Trump.
he's in
reusing
the
lines.
70s. How much stuff do you think he has in his bag?
I mean, he's like
He doesn't need a bag. It's a debate. Like you don't. It's not like you're a comedian telling jokes that you wrote. It's
He goes
it's
into his
discussion.
pocket.
It's presidential formal discussion.
he pulls out cards.
bring
He's
out
like,
facts.
Joe, you're whack. You're so old.
Trump was just bringing out
Joe,
insults.
your emails got hacked. Like, oh damn it.
wait,
that was for the
sorry,
other one.
that wasn't you. Are you the one with the
dude.
husband that cheated on you, or no? That was Hillary's.
His
He just
campaign
scratched
gave
my
him the wrong list of
It's
stuff
like these
to
are
say.
Hillary's, you dummy. Okay.
He's an insane
So yeah,
individual.
that's pretty much it for the debate. I don't know. I just hope it gets better. That's all.
Me too. In the land of Utah, nothing can go wrong there. I'll be excited for that. Although the vice presidential debate's going to be extremely boring because our vice presidents this year are extremely boring people.
I think Harris is gonna tear him up.
Well, Mike Pence is just such a soft man. He's such a
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, he just reminds me so much of like an old Mormon guy who just like has like a bunch of kids and he's just like nice guy maybe, but
Nah, he gives me like
just has it's just very stalwart, I guess you could say.
And he's closeted gay, so that's one thing.
Harris, on the other
Closeted
hand, of the 4 people who are going to be potentially in the Oval Office this next year,
That was an
Kamala
accidental
Harris.
joke.
Kamala Harris scares me the most out of any of them.
Oh, she's going to dominate.
She scares the ever living bejeebies out of me. She is such a ruthless woman, dude.
She is.
Like,
And imagine her in a debate going toe to toe.
I mean, it's just
Hearing her talk in general is just like, okay.
Well, her on the primary debate stage was just so strange because she was always too energetic. Like, I remember in one of the debates in like sort of like the early parts where there was still like maybe 12 people in, like she acted so strange on a stage once. Like, she seemed like she was like hopped up, dude. I swear. I've been doing this real big deep dive on politicians and drugs.
I got that good news.
Yeah, honestly, dude. I mean, she was living in California, so
Yo.
like
Man,
she's
you know?
district attorney. She's senator of California,
She got that good
dude.
news, you know?
She got the connections, but that'll be interesting. I cannot believe that there is a good chance that Kamala Harris will be our first female president. It's spooky, man.
president.
You think?
I
You
don't
think
think
Joe's
Joe,
gonna, like, die or
I don't
something?
think he's gonna last 4
You don't
years. I think he'll last max 2. I'll put so much money on that.
Based off of what? Death or impeachment?
No, just
Death.
resignation.
Wait,
Reagan
like
resigned.
You don't think he's gonna last?
He's going.
I mean,
to be
he'll be.
stressed
I think
out.
he'll be alive in 4 years, maybe, but I don't think he's going to be in the Oval. I think
he's
he'll.
not
I
gonna
think
handle-
Why do you say that?
because I think he's going to willfully resign because he does not think he's fit to run to be in office after a few years of being there.
He's just doing it to get Trump out?
I mean, that's what the party has been.
Yeah,
just
I mean, that's the
that's
whole
what
point
they
of
forced him to.
the
But
parties.
like once he's in there, I think he has the means, and I think he will step up for like a little bit. But I mean, I
Interesting.
think pressure from the party and just Kamala having her hand up is
ass.
as like playing him like a puppet. I think eventually, he will step down and she will
It just came
probably run the rest of his term, and then she will probably be reelected for at least maybe one more cycle. I don't know.
Mute TJ. He's on timeout for the
It's like
rest of the
All right,
episode.
TJ's on timeout. TJ, be quiet because your mic still picks up on our mics. All right, you're on timeout for 2 seconds.
This is how Trump's gonna be in the debate.
Yeah, just like
I still got something to say.
Donald Trump, you're on timeout for a few minutes.
I'll put my hands in the air. Put my hands in the air. Help me, please.
All
Let me in.
right.
Oh my god.
Whatever. Parsa. Something monumentous happened this week. Would you like to tell the audience about it?
21 Savage dropped an album.
Fire. We listened to it before the show started.
We listened to a song.
A single
You guys
song.
are so
Have you listened
uncultured.
to the
Nobody's.
old album?
I have. Here,
Yeah,
listen.
of
What would
course.
be your-
Parsa, am I uncultured?
Will be your top
Yeah,
rated
sure.
5?
You guys are uncultured, huh?
Will be your like top rated
Like best songs.
like 5-star? Yeah.
Let's go look at it, man. I mean, I don't know them by heart, considering the album came out around 12 hours ago.
It did.
Running's good. Glock, dude, these. I'm not saying these song names. Never mind. I forgot who the artist is now. Just go check it out. It's a good album.
Savage.
Metro Boomin is gonna be an all-time great producer. I
Oh
feel
my
like
god.
He
He's
already
amazing.
is.
He's
He is.
phenomenal.
he is, but he's not gonna get the credit until this generation of music is over, and like our kids are gonna look back at it like they're the Tupacs.
Okay.
Parsa-
That's cool.
I
That's
think
cool.
Metro-
Parsa, let me
gonna
ask
be
you,
an
is
al-
it
what's
anything
up?
like? Is it anything like Without Warning?
No, not at all. Like
Really?
it's because I feel like 21's changed his style a lot. Like I feel like that's the main reason a lot of people don't like it, as like they're saying like it's not a good album.
I
because-
loved Without Warning. I still listen to that.
I still be bumping Without Warning. Like it gets me pumped.
Like My Choppa Hate, I love that song.
The
I'm not
Rap
gonna say
Save
the
Me is
last part.
probably my favorite. But
And of course that one too. But yeah.
But I feel like he's still the same guy, but I feel like his style has changed a lot. Like considering it's been a few years since
Yeah.
he started popping off. Like it's a lot different from like what Savage Mode was, the first one. I feel like, I mean, that's just me though, but I don't know. That's how I see it. You guys should probably actually listen to the album.
I'll listen to it as soon as the show
album
is over.
cover for it. The album cover for it looks so like 2009.
Yeah,
with,
no.
like the blinged out text and
Oh,
Dude.
does it have blinged out text like
Yeah.
like
it's
Yeah,
got
haven't seen-
blinged
like
out
Fetty
text and there are
Wap from
two
the
giant
2000s?
No,
just regular
it's like-
pictures on it.
Cause like this, I keep seeing this ad on Instagram as I'm scrolling, and it's this guy selling like preset packs for those exact types of texts for like
Oh,
T-shirt designs and
no.
album
Yeah.
designs. But 21's been on that for a while now. He's been on, like, I remember where he did a collab with Young and Reckless, and I feel like it did look like that, but that was a long time ago.
Well, if you think about it too, the first Savage Mode was short. It was like what 7 songs in
I
like
think
half
so.
an hour or something. So he's definitely come a long way. What that was 2016.
That
so,
was 26. Was it 2016? Yeah, it was. We were in
Yeah.
high school freshman year.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
That's crazy, man.
But yeah, no, he's definitely like his style has kind of changed. He's still the same guy though. Like you can hear him like it's a good album, man. Just go listen to it, goddammit.
I'll go listen to it. I
Mitch-
promise.
How is Drake's feature?
Drake's feature is pretty good. I haven't has anybody listened to Bryson Tiller's? I'm assuming
I
not,
haven't.
considering you guys haven't even.
Dude, of
listened
course
to
I
it.
listen
I
to
literally
Bryson
haven't
You
touched the album yet.
Oh my god, I listened to one. Like I was listening to it, and it got to the second song, and I was like, "That's good enough for today. We don't need to hear this man's pain anymore."
Oh no, was it that bad?
No, it's just a good song.
Oh, but it's like
But
like
he's gonna put you in the mood.
but it's good pain music,
Yeah,
right?
it was good enough for me to go back to 21 Savage.
That's like me and
okay,
Broadway.
And
okay.
like, Dude,
Whoever be hearing Rod Wave's heartbeat killing. Because, man,
Dude,
that fat dude.
Rod Wave's not that good.
You're crazy. He nuts. Rod Wave is not that good to you?
Mm-mm. The only reason I even listen to Rags to Riches is because he got that remix with Tony. I mean, not the remix. He got that second version with Lil Baby. And Lil Baby snaps on that.
Letter from
Lil
Houston.
Baby did go pretty hard on that song.
Lil Baby did.
From like the 5 times we listened to it in your car.
Dude, we
He
listened
brought
to
his
that
A
much?
game on that.
Yeah, on the way to guitars, and you just kept playing.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, we listened to it at least 3 times, like
No,
on the way
we-
there and back. We really did, because every time you would like turn on the car, it would start again.
That is like
Wait,
one of the first songs
when
I
we
put
were
on
going to
the
get
playlist.
furniture,
No, this is when me and Parsa went out shopping a little while ago.
Yeah.
there was a song when we went to go to IKEA.
Oh,
for
that
this
was Spaceship
podcast.
Vibes.
Spaceship
Yes,
Vibes.
that's what it was.
It's on my
yeah.
playlist now.
Dude,
It's a
no,
good song.
that's a pretty good song. That's a pretty good
That
song.
is a good song. I'm not gonna lie. That is a
Anyways,
good song.
Dude,
but I've
what
also
else?
been listening to a lot of YF and Lucci.
Right, I have,
Documentary has really been speaking to me all week.
yeah, you gotta put me on because I've been hearing about him, but I've never been
Oh
put on,
my
and I'm
goodness.
too lazy to like leave what I'm listening to right now, to like just go listen to YF and Lucci out of nowhere on my free day.
Like documentary, like I love rappers that really bring truth to like their lyrics and stuff like that. Like it's cool to talk about money, but I also
I
love how
I
you
heard
can
he
relate
does
to
be
me.
speaking that street
Oh
gospel.
my goodness, when you can relate to me on all platforms, that's worth me listening to you, getting your album, and sitting through whatever I'm about to sit through. Because his song documentary, like that's the first song I would put you on to.
You know, that's one of the main reasons I really like Drake
Oh yes,
is because I feel like he just makes me relate to stuff I've never been through.
yes.
Like I remember there was this one song on Views where was it Views? Anyways, this is just one song, and I was listening to it on my '96 Explorer, and he's talking about you always take my like super like sports car like to CVS to
I
get some
love-
Kotex.
Nah,
What song is that, Jack? What song is that?
on views?
I don't know if it's Views. Yeah, it's Child's Play. Child's Play. Let me look up this.
Is Jack with us?
I don't know. Is Jack? Jack, are you okay?
Jack, your boy.
He probably thinks that we're fucking with him again.
He's on a timeout now.
He's on time.
I
He'll be
just
back
got
in
a
a
text
sec.
from him. What happened? He asked. Well, while you're looking that up,
I'm back. What's up?
What's
oh,
up,
okay.
man?
Hey. So, Parsa's looking that up. We can begin to wrap up.
The episode?
Not the episode, just
Oh wait.
I don't know our what happened in music this week talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did
What
y'all
else?
listen to
Even
Big
though
Sean's
Drake was
Detroit
amazing.
too?
Oh, I did.
It was very good.
It was.
I enjoyed it.
He did not bring his full potential, like I know he can, but he still brought his A
Harder-
game on this.
Demons. I
There we
love
go.
that song.
Y'all listen
But
to
I agree. What? No, go ahead.
y'all listen to Dixie D'Amelio's new song.
Anyways, okay. so
All right,
Drake says
so
she was
we're
kinda
talking
fly.
about Big Sean and
Who's
Drake.
Dixie
okay.
Dixie
Dixie D'Amelio. What?
Wait, is that his name?
No,
Dixie
it's not a he.
D'Amelio.
Dog.
This is
time out.
TJ. We're
Put this man on
definitely
time
talking.
out.
We're definitely talking about a TikTok star right now who's a girl and like 16.
Put this man on
So-
timeout, bro.
yo,
Dude, I
mute button.
can't. I am so done. I can't.
That's what he said. That's what he said.
All right, take
That's
this
the-
name with
that-
you, Dixie D'Amelio. D''Amelio.
I said Digsy.
What?
Digsy.
Dude, I'm so tired, man. I have not slept at all today.
Anyways,
Anyways,
Drake says, "You wildin'. You're super childish. You go to CVS for Kotex in my Bugatti. I took the key and tried to hide it, so you can't find it,
Talk to
and
me.
put on mileage. Then you find it. Awkward
Awkward
silence,
silence.
dude.
Mama
He
is a
speaks
saint.
to
Yeah,
me.
she raised
He
me real
speaks
good.
to me for no reason.
Oh my
he just makes me
goodness.
relate. To
when he
stuff.
writes a song, he's
All
like,
because
Parsa.
of her. I don't do you like I should. I'm just gonna keep it going. That's a really good
No,
song.
it's fine. You don't have to.
We'll listen to it after this. We'll bump it.
when he talks, he really talks from the heart. Like he talks through experience, and that's one of his greatest assets that he has.
And it's
as
so
an artist.
crazy because like you can't really count the amount of girlfriends Drake's had in his phone.
At
Like,
all.
in
Yeah.
his career. Rihanna's the only one I know. And
Millie
SZA.
Bobby Brown. I mean,
Okay, let's calm down.
Yo,
I'm sorry,
when is
I
11 turning
had to.
18? Oh my.
all right, that's a timeout for Jack.
As a timeout for Adam, I think I know what we need to do to this podcast to make it work. Unmute that man so we can hear.
All right, Jack, you're back.
Wow, you actually muted me? That's insane. I wasn't talking.
Yeah, we gave you a time.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Welcome to the club, Jack.
Okay. So
It's okay, you and me both.
God.
Parsa, you like Drake. He speaks to you. I appreciate that. I know what that feels like, just not for Drake.
Oh my god.
So moving on to the next topic of discussion, I'd like to introduce to you a quote from Sophocles, who was a Greek philosopher, I'm pretty sure, where he said, "Nothing vast enters the life of mortals without a curse." And that quote, probably written well over 2,000 years ago, pertains very well to what something that we wanted to talk about today, which was the impact of social media on people our age specifically, and I mean just anyone within like a 5 to 10 year up or down range of us. One of the drives for wanting to talk about that was a recent movie released on Netflix called The Social Dilemma, which was a sort of drama / documentary about the tech industry and its effect on the minds of predominantly Gen Z. And it was pretty in depth. Jack, you give a quick breakdown of what it all talked about and maybe like the story of it.
So me and Adam have seen it, so I'll give you a little rundown to the audience who haven't seen it and to Parsa and TJ. So basically, it is, I'd say, 70% a documentary, and cut throughout the documentary, there's like a kind of story that plays out about your basic like 5-person family who they all have their phones, and the mom is like, oh, we shouldn't have it. That's not really what I'm going to be talking about. What I want to talk about mainly is the majority of it, which was the documentary. And it was talking about how, first of all, the people they got for it was I'd say they interviewed throughout it maybe like 9 people. Their resumes were insane. Like they all worked for Google
100%.
and X worked for Google and Facebook and Pinterest and Snapchat and Instagram, and they were breaking down everything that those companies do.
They were like presidents.
It's not
and
really
code and like lead developers too.
Yeah, they were like VPs of engineering and all this stuff. It was insane.
They did their job really
And
well.
Twitter, I forgot to mention Twitter, but they basically, I wouldn't call it an expose because people already knew all this stuff was going down. They were kind of just breaking down how much detail and data they have about specific people. And I didn't realize it. I knew data was collected through social media and whatever it may be, but they even look at how long you look at individual posts, and I just like timing, and it's just crazy to me. And I don't know if this has ever been a problem with you guys, but do you remember that Instagram update where they changed feed to where it wasn't chronological anymore?
Yeah.
Anyone remember that?
Isn't
do.
that still a thing though?
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
No, it's not.
I think it is. They just made it better.
Yeah,
no,
I,
like your
Are you talking about Instagram?
feed isn't Instagram. Yeah, your main feed on Instagram isn't in order of posts. Like your most recent post of whoever you follow will not be at the top. It's whatever Instagram thinks you'll want to see and interact with more to get your attention. And you can't change it in settings or anything. That's just how it is. It's been logged in. And I didn't realize. I thought it was just kind of like, before I watched this documentary, I thought that was just Instagram being annoying. Like, oh, we want to show you what we think is best. But I didn't realize that they made that update to keep my attention, to keep me on the app, to keep looking at ads, to keep getting data on me. It's just like really deep and kind of freaked me out.
They study exactly what you are, what you like.
It really did scare me because I mean I also knew a lot about what goes on in the tech industry and what they're doing. I mean, one of the biggest platforms that Andrew Yang ran on was to sort of ring out the tech industry and regulate them, make them use their systems fairly, and have it be so that the money that they're making off of us unjustly is like, one, not only given back to us, but just distributed
It's in the
evenly.
economy.
Yeah, because right now they're using our data, which, you know, people view like a contemporary view is that our data should be one of our human rights going into the future, and thus we shouldn't be able to have it removed from us without due pay. So we should be like paid for our data that's being taken by these social media companies, and a lot of people in the documentary agreed with it, which I thought was really interesting. But yeah, it did really shock me because one of the big things that was in the sort of story part of this documentary was in this family of like 3 kids, the middle one was a boy who he used his phone a lot, and I guess he was like an athlete at his high school and whatnot. But eventually, after sort of having a battle between how much to use his phone and what to sort of where to get his information online, he sort of goes down this rabbit hole of this sort of made up political movement that's going on in their community. And after enough exposure to this stuff on social media, he eventually becomes, convinced of its truthfulness, and he goes to one of these like rallies that they have in the city, like violent protests between like police and whatnot. And he ends up getting arrested along with his older sister, and that's actually where their story part ends. But it just kind of showed like how for a lot, and it only showed a single person that was happening to, where they were seeing stuff online, and they were being convinced of all these different things, and it eventually led them to to do something and have something done to them that will impact them for the rest of their life. And I mean, when you spread that out to over 2 billion people using social media in the world today, I think that the power that social media companies have over what we can see and the understanding they have of the human mind and what makes us tick and what makes us respond to things is really dangerous, because even if they can change the minds of 1% of people, or change our minds in 1% in any sort of direction with, a 2 billion person database, that's just a huge shift in like the viewpoint of the world. I feel like, like if they're getting millions of Americans to just shift their knowledge just a single percentage point in any direction towards any ideal, then I feel like that's a dangerous power to have.
Dude, they work fast too. Like this stealing data stuff, man.
Yeah.
I was on Amazon. I was looking at a tent because I'm going camping next week. So close the app.
Oh.
I go on Instagram.
And it's right
The
that
first thing you see, right?
I click a story. Tap. Guess what I see?
A tent.
The goddamn same tent that I saw. 2-person pop up on Amazon.
The most infuriating
Slide
part
up to
is
buy.
like the ads that they take from our search history and put into our things. Like from ordering all this podcast equipment, 99% of my ads on like Instagram now are from all the different websites that I purchased this crap from.
And you can't change it, man. And it's the most annoying thing ever.
And it's just like, what's the logic behind that? Like, I bought your stuff for like a single, like I bought these expensive pieces of equipment for like for use for a very long time. Why are you advertising your company to me? I'm not buying anything from you in the near future. Like, that's not the whatever. Back
And
to
do you guys use YouTube like recommended? Like when you open up YouTube on your phone, you
Yes.
just like go down to
Yes.
the first page.
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't
Bro.
go on my subscription. Like
I don't do that either.
It-
Actually.
it's just whatever's
I follow a few channels, but then I do go to recommend
no,
for the most part.
because I'm like with what I watch on YouTube, I'm super moody with.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just depends on what I'm in the mood for, like the span of like 3 months.
Yeah, you're just gonna let that algorithm feed it to you.
Yeah,
then?
I'll just let that
Yeah.
do its job.
But
Yeah,
like,
that's what it's
the
supposed-
thing I
that's
was
what
gonna
it's
say
meant to
was like, I'll be talking about the most random thing with someone, like this random actor will pop into my head and be like, "Oh, did you see this guy in that movie?"
Mhm.
And then like a few hours later, I'll go on my phone and there's like video essays talking about that actor who
Holy
I've
shit.
never
Isn't that
searched up on
such a-
YouTube
isn't
or
that such
anything.
a cool
Holy shit.
coincidence, Jack? Isn't that such a
No, that's
Bro,
such a-
it
'cause I
happens,
just
like,
now realized-
weekly.
I just now realized. I was talking about like The Matrix with someone a few days ago.
Uh-huh.
Guess what I was watching? Like after.
See, I'm
on
telling
YouTube.
you.
A Matrix explained video.
It's funny. It's funny, isn't it? And one of the things that I saw. I guess the main focus of the sort of documentary part of the story was this guy. I really forget his name. I think his first name was Taylor, but he basically he worked at Google for a long time before realizing the ethical dilemmas that were going on within the company. And after trying to do something about it but being rejected by his executives, he left the company and he started this nonprofit organization called the Center for Humane Technology, which is a nonprofit which works to help inspire people to use technology in ways that are beneficial to their, you know, to what's going on in their mind, and to like help shift the industry in that direction as well. And you know, he's been to Senate hearings where, you know, he has to talk with policymakers about like the problems that are going on and the things that they can do to help them. And one of the things that stuck out to me was it was whenever a policymaker would ask him, like, or it was either with a policymaker or with someone that like he was like from the tech industry that was trying to defend the actions of these companies. It was one thing that really stuck out to me was the idea that like social media isn't like harmful to children. It's just the next advancement in sort of human technology. It's like we didn't all like freak out about the newspaper when it started coming out, or we didn't stop caring about, we didn't go crazy about radio or television when these things came out. You know, this is just the next step in human communication, and like we're going to adjust to it. And he always points out that, you know, this is definitely a very unique case in human history where the evolution of our brains is no longer able to keep up with the speed of these of these like machines that they're creating. And one model that I was thinking of in my head was that they presented the idea that like in the past 40 years, as computers have become more and more advanced, they've increased exponentially in like what they can do. You know, they've gone up trillions fold in their processing power, and at the same time, you know, human evolution and the adaptation of our brains as a whole is much more linear. It just kind of goes at a constant scale, or even I guess you could say jumps, because we sort of I don't want to get into how we evolve and shit, but sorry, and it's just and I think that at some point the power of the computers crossed that line of our evolution, and that was the breaking point. I think that was social media. We see that one of the facts that they presented was the increase in suicide among girls age 15 to 19 and girls age 11 to 14 since 2009, which was when social media came available on mobile phones. And it said that both suicides and hospital admissions to hospital admittances because of self-harm have increased in girls 15 to 19 roughly 70 to 90%. And then in girls 11 to 14, it's increased, I think, upwards of 200%.
Yeah, it was like 186 or something.
Yeah, it was 186 actually. Because he said he almost tripled it. And I mean, I know that's a stifling amount. And I think just looking at that sort of shows how big of a problem this could be going into the future. And I think that's something that maybe our audience can connect with more so, because, you know, we're all 18-year-olds who use social media just constantly. I mean, I use it quite a lot, and I try my best not to, but, you know, I understand that I have an addiction to it. So I guess that's my long ramble about the knowledge I received last night. But I don't know. What do you guys think, just off the top of your head, about the issue of how this is affecting people growing up?
It's kind of out of context for Parsa and TG. I highly recommend you guys watch it, because you don't get the full effect unless you do.
Yeah, should we wait on this for next week?
I mean, I'd love to hear you guys.
Yeah, we could do like a
follow up,
a little catch up, like
yeah.
Okay.
on the previous episode.
It's very very interesting.
It is really eye opening, and I was really glad to see that, you know, people are actually talking about this, and it's actually like a pretty important issue, at least on some levels. It did give me some hope. But Jack, based on anything I said, do you have any more thoughts?
I don't know. I think I want to reiterate the fact that everyone they interviewed was from, and not even just like little employees. They were huge employees from Twitter and Facebook, and like, because it's just really I don't want to say powerful, but kind of that the people that worked for those companies and were getting checks because of what they were doing had enough strength to be like, okay, this is insane. And like, I don't know, people make the argument of, okay, yeah, they're tracking my data, but at the same time, it doesn't really affect me. Like, I'm getting more things that are focused towards me, and I use it more. Like, they're getting money off of me, but at the same time, I'm getting better content. So it's kind of a fair trade. And like, yeah, I understand that argument, but it's also like,
it's more valuable than that. Your data.
Yeah, there's more to it than just you getting good content.
Like,
and
you're getting a pretty shit deal if you're trading your data for just better content on your social media apps. Like
Yeah.
like the data that these companies take for us was what Andrew Yang said would take like a good chunk of universal basic income program for the whole country. Like a solid little like I think 20-30% of like that whole trillions of dollars to spend on the country would come from the data that social media companies are taking from us. That would then be redistributed. Like the value of that would be redistributed into the population. And so it's like,
because they are just jacking this for free.
they for real are, and they're selling it. Well, they're either storing it and like using it to feed their algorithms, or they're selling it to literally some of the worst countries on the planet. Like TikTok selling its user data to China.
You remember
That was cucked.
You remember like a few years ago they were like talking about like making us pay for internet services.
Yeah, the end of net neutrality, right?
Yeah, imagine if that went through, and we were still getting our data jacked.
We would be getting absolutely just
Ripped off.
rear-ended for.
They'd be
dude,
getting
Yeah, that would be the nail in the coffin of, okay,
Back
our
to
data needs to be
newspapers
all
we
right.
go.
I mean, if net
Yeah.
neutrality actually passed, we would like I'd be sitting in the Oval Office right now, like as it burns to the ground, like because people would not like. I think that's the biggest thing. That
It's
would
just
drive
one
people
of the
crazy.
things that's not gonna slide.
Yeah, because it's just
Yeah.
like hundreds of millions of people in this country use the internet, and
Because
to have
there's
it
a
be,
reason you pay for internet,
like the service
from a provider.
Yeah,
Like there's a reason you're buying it to
Like-
not have to.
shifting the whole system would just bring some crazy chaos. But yeah, I think one of my favorite guests they had on that documentary was the guy who actually like lead developed the algorithm that YouTube uses to recommend you videos, and the one that it still uses to this day. Like he left the company and he was talking out about it, like saying how dangerous it is and how it's like not good for you and it just
Yeah.
keeps you on the thing.
It's goddamn addicting, bro. I just be on there.
Dude, honestly,
I refresh better videos.
you just
pop
flip.
up, man.
Yeah, no, I'll sometimes refresh and just hope that the video like can bring my
Something
attention.
good. I hate when it's not working too.
Yeah,
I hate when it's just not showing me good stuff.
it is interesting because it like breaks you out of the cycle and you're just
Yeah.
like, what am I doing with my life? Why am I like? Yeah, it makes you
get
angry.
irritated.
But yeah, and it's so unethical what they're doing because, I mean, these companies just are not founded with the idea of human
Decency.
in mind. They're just founded on the idea of making money. And I mean,
Can you
it's just
blame
in
them, though?
it's just in some parts of our human history that those two things have gone side and side. Like making more money, whether it's like within a single individual or a company, you know, would bring up a whole society. But as we advance and we grow and just the whole world grows more rich, we have to start not focusing on that because eventually we're going to learn that we need to outgrow like instead of our companies pulling us up, pulling like us as a people up, we need to realize that like we're going to keep going when they're long gone and we can't let them drag us down like this.
Amen.
Yeah.
If there's not anything else anyone else wants to say,
I'm all clean.
I'll
Just gotta
clean.
watch
Yeah,
that
we can wrap it
film.
up.
Yeah, you guys just, if you have time during the week, you can watch it. Very, very entertaining show. But thank you, too, for coming here. Welcome back, TJ, after a 2-episode sabbatical.
Thanks for having me.
Hope you will be back in the future for ever long. Jack, thank you for calling in from college. I appreciate you showing up. But,
Of course.
This has been the Floor 26 podcast, everybody. Have a wonderful day.
Have a good one.
See you next week.